I'm Aaron, and today we're going to go over advanced Camtasia techniques, and today we're going to cover animations. So from what you just saw, all of this on my screen is what was happening. So I've got music, I've got the animations, there's actually quite a bit going on here, okay? So this is just an example of what you can accomplish. I'm going to show you the basics for being able to get to that point without covering all of this. This would just take quite a long time, and we just want to get the basics down. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to My Media, where all this is stored, and what I'm going to do is we're going to do it with pictures. We're not going to do it with videos because videos are a little bit distracting, but you can do the same application with videos as you can with pictures. So what we're going to do is we're going to take some pictures here, and then I'm just going to slap them in there. And they can be staggered, they can all be at one time, it doesn't really matter. For this example, I'm going to go ahead and make them staggered and kind of show you a little bit about them. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is, obviously when you bring in a picture or video, it's not always going to be the size you want. You have several options. You can select to edit by making the screen bigger, or if you want to get something out, you can crop it by simply dragging it back and it will crop it. All right? So we're going to do the select function on this one, and I'm going to pull it all the way to the top of my corner, and then I'm going to go ahead and pull it all the way over here and to all my corners. That's all I'm going to do. I'm just going to scale it up. It will distort your image a little bit. It just kind of depends. Some images, as you scale them down, becomes distorted. It just kind of depends on how it was taken. So we'll start off with this picture, and we'll see that it'll play for, a good 5 seconds. And then what I want to do is I want to bring in this next picture. Okay, so a good way to do this is I usually take this picture and I just exaggerate it. I just put it so far out, and then I'm going to put this one right here. I'll go ahead and I will make this the size that I want, and there's different ways you can do it. You could resize or add animations right now, but first thing I want to do is I want to size all these pictures and then exaggerate them to what I want them to be. Again, I'll come over to this last one, and I'll go ahead and open it up as well. And then once I get it all to scale, and you don't have to scale if you don't want to. You can leave it whatever image size you want to do. And then again, I will exaggerate all the way back here. So what I want to go into is I want to go into my animations. Okay? Now you have zoom in, pan animations for the actual picture you have selected. I like to go to my animations because it gives me a variety of items I can use. Again, if I mouse over it, I can see that it will adjust the screen. I can scale up, I can scale down. The one I use a lot is going to be scale down and tilt left and tilt right. They're just very generic, very basic, simple animations to use. So we'll start with this right here, this Tulsa Tech, and I'll scroll up a little bit by hitting Control and zoom up. Okay, so I want to scale down. Before I do that, I'm going to move these over just a little bit. So I'm going to scale down, and if you'll notice, as I drag and drop it, it goes to where I want. So I'll have it come in here, and then I can also take this and actually lengthen how long it takes for it to scale down. We'll just leave it the way it was. If we need to, we'll make it a little bit longer. But the thing to remember is, if my line is before it, that's what the image will look like. If I move my line after it, that's where it's going to be. Okay? So from here, I'll go ahead and I'll put this right here, and then I will scale it up. Remember to have your edit selected, and I'll scale it up about 1/4 of the page. Okay? So what I'll do from here is I can simply hit play, or I can just move my mouse and I can actually see how it's going to work. So let's hit play and let's see how it works in real time. It comes up to it, and then it scales down. Okay? Now, depending on your computer, it might not run that very well. You just kind of play it by ear. All right? So I like that one. So as this scales down, you can bring this one anywhere you want. You can put it right at the line, or you can have it line up with that. So as that's scaling down, this will start coming into play, or into view. So with that said, I'll go ahead and I'll add another animation, and let's do a tilt right because I want to put it to the right side of the screen. And there's no, I'm just kind of guessing here. You can adjust the timing however you want. And for this one, I'll make it a little bit longer on the scaling. And remember, before it's this size, after it's that size. And we'll scale it to about right here. And I'll open it up. That looks pretty good. And then if I want to check it out, I'll just simply come before it and hit play. So we can see it coming through, and then it slowly begins to scale, and then it's there. And then last but not least, we'll go ahead and grab our last one, and I'll get it to where it does align. And then let's do a tilt left. So I'll put that in there, and I'm going to make this even longer, okay? We're going to, it doesn't really matter. It's up to you. So again, before the animation is what I'll look like, and then after is where it's going to be. So let's pop it at the top, pull it over here, and then we'll scale it down. And you can drag this out of screen and then leave it there. It's whatever you're most comfortable with. I'll keep it in here, and I'll make it kind of flush with this one right here. And if I had a fourth image, I could move this up, put it down, and I could put it there. But for right now, that's where I'm going to leave it at. I'll move this up a little bit so it does show a little bit of separation between the three. And after that, you know, you've achieved your animation. Now, something I like to put on these animations before they actually happen is I like to do a transition. For the first one, let's do a transition right here where it will actually fade. And then we'll do a circle stretch, and then we'll do a barn door. I mean, it's really up to you what you like. So let's scoot back a little bit. And now what we'll do is we'll give this a second to catch up, and then we'll actually hit play and see what all three of them look like together. So it fades in real nice, and then the animation takes place right there. Okay, it scales down, and then it comes right in, and then it will slowly go down to its place. Now the great thing about this is if you want the fade to be a little bit longer, you can adjust that. If I want the scale downs to be closer, I mean, it's just really up to you on how you want it to look, okay? So once I've achieved this, I can hit Control, and I can zoom out a little bit, and I can take each individual clip, and I'll actually make them a certain length because I don't want this to be up there the whole time. And then something I like to do is I'll zoom back up, is I like to have them all fade out the same way. So we'll do a dissolve. And all I'm going to do is just put a dissolve on all three of them. Okay, so now we'll check it one more time. Of course, it fades a little bit longer. And then it will scale down. And then this again will scale down slowly. And then our last one scales down the longest. And it's only about 15-20 seconds. And at the very end, all three of them will dissolve out. And at this point in time, right here, if you wanted to put some annotation in there, bring a word on there and put, you know, Tulsa Tech, or your name, or let's see, these are Tulsa Tech campuses. We can put that in there, and it's pretty much what we're showing, okay? And then I would move this right here to where it also goes at the end, and that's all it's going to do. And it'll pop up right there, or I can leave it the full length so that it pops up right here in the beginning, okay? Now, the great thing is you can also use the scaling function with text. So what I'll do is I want to put this right before it comes in, and I'll have Tulsa Tech come up. We'll move these over just a little bit so that the word Tulsa Tech comes right up first. And then we'll make it kind of big. There we go. And then as it scales out, we'll actually have it come down here. So now when we play it, and I'll actually move this a little bit farther, let's see what it looks like now. So we got Tulsa Tech campuses, we have the broken arrow, and notice how this Tulsa Tech image does not go away because it is the full length of all the videos. And then if you wanted it to stay on there, you would just simply have to extend it. So with that said, This is how you would take videos, apply them, use your animations. I hope this is helpful. Again, my name is Aaron Ruck. Give me a shout if you need any help.